All right, we're going to Lore Corner. We're going to Lore Corner where
Lore
nobody can hurt me anymore.
Corner,
Nobody can confuse me here. That's actually a bold-faced lie, but I pre-screen these ahead of time to make sure I can actually talk about them. We're going to finish up Eris and Drifter's lore. We haven't gotten to the round of finishing those yet this season, so I want to read those two. I want to read the last two this week. This is from the legs in the armor set this season. Elsie is not at camp and beyond, perhaps another time, but Eris emerges from Transmat to see the Drifter alone, interrogating Elsie's strange floating companion. The Vexfish is back!
Yes!
It's back! It's in the lore!
You think we're going to be able to buy it this time?
Dude, I'm saying, Bungie, don't you want to make money? Make it a companion in game and let me buy shells for it. Let me buy a Finch shell while I'm at it. How was that not a thing?
All right.
Anyways, I digress.
I digress.
They can't hurt me in Lore Corner.
I think you should be. You should be able to buy every Guardian's Ghost, like every like you could buy.
No, I should be able to earn every Guardian's Ghost.
I think you should. I
should not have to pay for that shit. I should be able to earn it in game, like you did Sagira's shell. I should be able to earn this shit.
Yeah.
I also just kind of want something that I don't have to pay for at this point. That's cool.
Please.
Wait.
Thanks.
All right. We're going back. We're going back to the pants. Well, what are you? Drifter points at the thing with distrust. Leave it be. The ziggurat awaits our experiment, Eris says, saddling a mostly materialized sparrow and blasting off into the snow across the frozen European flats. And don't touch my stuff, she hears Drifter shout at the thing as he follows after her. Frigid sleet stings Eris's face red atop the ziggurat. It is a welcome sensation compared to the prickling numbness that sticks her fingers. She grips a harvested stalk of the Aragor fungus tightly in one gloved hand. In the other, a hot flare disgorges plumes, of jade smoke. She lights the stalk at both ends according to the Drifter's instruction. Ashing spores furl into dense clouds that envelop her body, obscuring her sight in soot-blacked shroud until it blocks out all else. Faint whispers, a choral swell through turbulent winds, tone that forms words across the surface of her mind. You hear it, Drifter asks, his voice a whisper outside her awareness. The ziggurat resonates like a tuning fork. The vibrations themselves take shape within the smoke, and Eris is drawn towards somewhere distant and empty. She follows, and the smoke swirls with points of color like stars, separated by lonely rifts of black expanse. Echoes radiate from the black deep like graviton ripples through space. They wash distortion over the stars until breaking against four other points, two greater, two weaker, ghostly strands of incorporeal Aragor between them. She sees the pyramids of Europa, Luna, and Savathun's throne world as one, their structures melding and overlapping. The connections carterize in her mind like a vivid memory. Eris blinks and the sensation is gone. The stalk is ash in her hand. Black magic fuckery. That's my explanation here.
Yep.
This is dark. This is darkness stuff, and I would almost guarantee this is teeing us up for season 18.
Yep.
At the very least, maybe it's like the PvP stuff. Maybe they're teasing us for season 19. Maybe they're confusing us on purpose. I don't know. They're talking about something else that's 6 months out. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Let's move to the class item.
Let's do it.
You want to go where? Drifter's jump ship idles roughly behind him, the engine misfiring, clattering loudly as if ready to explode. Eris's ship purrs next to it in contrast. There is a connection between the points of darkness, signals passing back and forth to something beyond. Eris steps closer so her voice carries over the engine noise. The other pyramids may provide more context. The Drifter clicks his tongue and raises an eyebrow. Sounds a mite dangerous with Big Daddy Callus parking right over to him. Big Daddy Callus made it into the lore.
Big Callus.
Daddy Callus.
Sounds like a shirt idea.
I have a non sequitur to say after this, but I'm going to continue. Sounds off limits. Yes, but the Guardian leads raiding parties into Rolk's Pyramid in Savathun's throne world. We will use that distraction. And with that, Eris shoulders through him and trudges to his ship. Come, rat. Can we eat first? Explosions thunder within the throne world's pyramid as Eris and Drifter establish a camp in the sunken bog where Misama meets the pyramid's approach. The massive ship eclipses them, towering in fog. The extent of its edge is unknown to their eyes. Drifter's face is stern, clenched with a tension Eris has seldom seen. Trust in one hand, fistful of stasis in the other. Eris sets a cloth-wrapped stalk of Aragor upon a pyramid shard jutting out from beneath the sinking swamp. She unwraps and neatly spreads the corners of the cloth before noticing the Drifter's footsteps behind her. Something's watching us, Drifter mutters. He turns to his altered ghost and whispers softly enough to convince himself that Eris cannot hear him. Keep your eye on her, eh? Then louder. I'm gonna look around, make sure that hotshot hero didn't miss any screams. The Drifter's altered ghost emits a single elongated tone in acknowledgement and then focuses on Eris. Germaine. He stops. Eris knows his concern bellies a nobility he often attempts to suppress in favor of the persona of the Drifter. It is a ruddy shield, but she has seen the true him hidden under that layer of grime. May I have a light? You got it. He discharges a solar round from his trust that sparks on the pyramid's floor and ignites the Aragor stalk. Back in a flash, Eris watches him disappear into the swamp, then focuses on the pluming Aragor. Eris sits, exhausted, on a warm cushion in the dirt. The Drifter stands over a hazardly large fire, scooping some sweet-smelling funk of a stew from a cauldron-like vessel of hive design. Her face scrunches as he places a chunky bowl of thick, grayish-brown pottage in her hands. What'd you find? Drifter asks, slurping from his bowl. Eris tests the temperature and flavor of this food against her lips. It is something like the stinking brine cheeses Ikora had given her on her last visit to the city, but with earthly depth beneath. Her face curls and she opts instead for conversation. I was right, they are connected, but now I only have more questions. You ask me, that's how these things go. Better leave well enough alone and head home, Drifter says, slurping another mouthful. The Aragor connects points of darkness, resonates with pyramid constructs, but I cannot decipher their communication. Still, the Lunar Pyramid, the European Pyramid, and both Glykon and Leviathan all converse with the same distant point. What Rolk spoke to, so does Callus. It is gravely concerning. Wild, Drifter says with a whistle. He shakes his head and looks at her full bowl. You gonna eat that? Eris wonders if he heard her correctly and knows repeating herself is an exercise in futility. What is this, exactly? Pretty damn tasty is what it is. First time I got it right. Thought you'd appreciate someone cooking for you since you're awful at it. Rat, what are you feeding me? She remembers his hunt earlier in the day and her stomach turns. Eris stares at the Drifter, mouth agape and half-heaved gag, her thoughts racing over the things he's claimed to have consumed. You cooked me rotted screebs. What? Drifter chokes on the stew and coughs. I wouldn't feed that crap to you, Moondust. He laughs. You never had crawdad stew? He holds his bowl to his lips. Or a close cousin to it, he adds under his breath. Little swamp shrimps. You dig? It's a delicacy. Eris reels her imagination in, takes a breath, and sips the broth without taking her eyes from the Drifter. The liquid fills her crumpled stomach with hearty warmth. She feels her stress melt away. The stew's flavor is far more pleasing than its smell. She smiles and drinks again. Thank you. It is good. It's fucking wild.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, so they're up to something. We know that. It's a matter of, do they tell us in season 18, 19, or is this something that gets shown to us at the showcase? Is part of the mystery of how we get from point A to point B, knowing that the two of them play a major role in whatever expansion Lightfall ends up becoming.
Right.
Is that possible?
I feel like it is, to be honest. Or like some seasonal storyline even, maybe, I guess.
Yeah, I'd be a little surprised if it wasn't. Like, I don't even know if it could be a seasonal story at this point. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I think it probably is more likely that it's a seasonal story. Otherwise, man, you're teasing it pretty far out, and I think that's a difficult thing to do. Like the further out that we get, to be dumping lore for something that's still like 9 months away.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but they're up to something.
They're up to something. We know that they're in the Tangled Shore right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be overly shocked if that's where we go next season. But who actually knows at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
We'll know in 2 weeks. We'll know if this actually means anything soon.
Yeah, we'll see. I wanna see Eris's eyes before she dies. Okay.
I would like to see Eris's eyes.
I bet they're green.
I mean, I hate you. I hate you so much. Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know.
Why are you the way that you are, you monster? Corey, I'm mad. Get me out of here.